Now move over, Swanson. I'm driving.
Wow!
Hey, Slim! My thing is bigger than your whole boat.
Welcome back to the Caddyshack Minute, the podcast where we dive head first into the algae green pool of Caddyshack 1 minute at a time. I'm Tom Taylor, and I'm here with Mike DeMaria.
Hello.
Hello, Mike. And the two of us are here with Dan Lewis.
Gulp, gulp, gulp. Enjoying a nice icy cold beer as we do this.
Oh, delicious. What kind of beer?
That was a little bit of a Racer 5 IPA from the Bear Republic Brewing Company.
Free plug.
Yeah, free plug.
Listen, are you guys excited to talk for the third time tonight about minute 46?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, good.
I think
minute
the listeners have heard enough about our technical problems in
What
past
technical
episodes.
problems? What do you mean?
So we're not having any tonight. We've had no technical problems, and
No,
we're coming out of
awesome.
we're coming out of the starting blocks just to sprinting now.
The internet is a solid proposition that's going to take us beautiful places.
I put raccoon repellent on all my internet cables.
What's so funny?
I like that bear yawn. That was pretty good.
I'm tired.
Mind the almond milk.
That's good. Let's use that, Mike. Let's use that.
I'm going to use it.
Put on those slippers and let's get this thing going.
Oh, where are my slippers?
Yeah.
Okay, 46 begins with Lacey passing Tony and Danny on her way to the diving board, and it ends with some synchronized swimming.
We're listening to Mr. Knight.
We're who?
We're listening to Mr. Knight.
Wait, what do you
Mr.
mean?
Knight. Kenny
the name of
Loggins. Mr. Knight.
Was that the name of the song, Mr.
Yes,
Knight?
Mr. Knight.
Oh, really?
Kenny Loggins.
didn't-
Mr. Knight.
That's the other big song in the movie, I would say.
Mr. Knight.
You got the intro song, theme to Caddyshack, I'm All Right, and Mr. Knight would be kind of the second song.
Did you say Mr. Knight?
It's Mr. Knight. What's so funny?
You
I don't
guys
understand
make
what's,
it all worth
I
it.
don't know what's so funny.
I just never knew that was the name of the song.
Mr. Knight. Kenny Loggins, Mr. Knight. I told you that 5,000 times. I'm
Yeah.
tired. I'm really tired.
I understand.
And on
Yeah.
friggin'
You
airplanes.
must be tired because Lacey has been approaching this pool since about minute 20, it seems.
It
Yeah.
seems
Like-
to you.
It does. Like half of last minute was her walking towards the pool, walking
Yeah,
towards these guys.
Most of tonight.
And she's only just getting to them at the beginning of this minute.
Right.
And then she's still got to cross the rest of the pool to get to the diving board.
Right. Yeah, she
insane.
walks and walks, and she's going, and there's a wind. There's a very violent wind blowing all of the umbrellas, which is interesting. It's almost like she's arriving like a goddess with a swirling wind as her entree, and then as soon as you see the shot of her from their angle looking at the diving board ladder, there's no wind at all. So clearly these are shot at different times.
Yeah. Or she has full command over the elements. She's a wind elemental.
Right. She likes the wind to die down. She likes the wind for the entrance, but it could mess up a perfectly good dive.
Yeah.
Which, of course, Cindy Morgan is an excellent diver, unless
Look
that
at her
isn't
go.
Cindy Morgan diving off the board. What do you think, Tom?
What are you talking about?
Well, I'm just saying.
You
there's
saw her climb
clearly-
the diving board. And then-
Clearly,
and then
Greg Louganis in a blonde wig.
she made the guy fall. By the way, that guy falls off backwards off the diving board. He could get seriously hurt, couldn't he?
Yeah.
I've done weird side belly flops off the high dive, and it kills. And that's when I meant to do it.
Yeah.
This guy just falls backwards.
Well, he's going feet first, though. I mean, I don't know why that would hurt
Oh, I
you.
guess he is, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm still worried.
That's clearly a wig on a woman. I don't know who was diving, but that is
Yeah,
absolutely
it's
not
like
Cindy
sideways.
Yeah.
I'm telling you right now, my stomach is killing me.
Why?
It's just killing me. I don't know. I'm sitting here and it feels like I drank like liquid metal.
No, is this stress related? Is this?
I don't know. I haven't slept. I've just got back from a trip. I
You
haven't
did.
been
I was
able
going to
to
say,
say
did
yes.
your diet affect you or something?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I'm just I get that taste in my mouth like I've been on an airplane too long.
I'm a little disappointed that we didn't get an episode done while you were in Finland.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry. I'm
Well,
sorry.
No, I'm
Way
not
to go,
saying
Mike.
I'm not blaming you for it. I'm just saying I like to
Okay.
do the episodes where you're traveling and there's weird music coming out of the hotel rooms and stuff like
It's
that.
fun.
And
It's
I
like
wanted
we're
to hear
traveling.
about the saunas that you took in
Sauna.
Finland.
Was there a sauna this time?
yeah, there was. There was.
How'd that go?
That went swimmingly.
Oh. Well, there's no need to ask whether there was one because they're compulsory in Finland. The way Mike described it.
I think there's 1.4 million saunas in the country.
Yeah, and there's only
And how many
800,000 people.
There's only 800,000 people.
Yeah.
No. Okay. Quick story. We'll go right into it. I get on the airplane after I had a meeting here in Chicago. Right. Mm-hmm. Took my suit off, jumped on the car, got to the airplane, got on there. Immediately sat next. It finally happened. I've been on a plane many times, many times. Been on a plane, mm-hmm. and it finally hit me where the guy sitting next to me was 3 times the size of me. Okay?
Oh.
And I'm 6'4", and the guy, and we locked eyes as he came up and he's looking at my seat and he goes, it's you and me, big guy. So and it was just those. It's the 2-row. You got the 2, and usually okay, I'm gonna have a little room here, and he sat next to me, and his arm was across my chest.
Oh my God!
Because he was like half into my seat.
How so? You mean like his shoulder and his upper arm?
His shoulder was across my front. So if I looked down in the middle of my chest was his elbow.
Jesus.
Okay.
It's like you were being boxed out of the paint in a basketball game.
And he just kept saying in a really low tone, "I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
So then I said, right. So then I turned to him. I said, listen, we're going to get through this. And I said, in other words, I'm not going to leave you for an empty seat. We're going to get through this, you and me. Mm-hmm. It's going to be.
Wait, were there empty seats?
There was 1 or 2 empty seats.
Oh my God!
But I wasn't going to. When he said that to me, I wasn't going to be that guy to get up and say, you know what? Excuse me, I'm going to go sit over there. So we got through it.
Now wait, I admire that. That was beautiful. You're a human being.
It was horrifying.
And that's fantastic.
It's horrifying.
I know, but I just want, but couldn't you have been justified in going to another seat also for his sake?
Yeah, he would have been justified, and also for his sake, that is a very good point. And yet, by staying, you are making a statement. You're really saying, listen, we're all different. Sometimes there's a give and a take, and I might need something from a high shelf or something one day from you.
One day, and you'll help me.
Yeah, and you'll help me. I might have
3 wishes.
So you know what? We're all.
I might
different.
have to. might need some extra time in the pocket to make a pass, and you might be the guy blocking for me.
Yeah, you're gonna clear the lane for me one day.
Yeah, right.
But I'll tell you. I'll say it. You and me, Sabu, we're all different. But guess what? Your differences are killing me right now. No, but we made it. We made it. So then I get there, and as soon as I get to into Helsinki, I had to drop off my Barbasol can with the microfiche in it.
We don't need the details.
Right. Then they took me up into the 40 minutes out of the city there, and they said we're going to the sauna. I said okay, I'll go. It was so with we had a meeting the next day with about 67 people, and about 40 people went to sauna, but it was the special sauna that was in the woods. So we get there and we get into this little cabin, and he said there's an electric sauna here. The men can go in there. There's an electric sauna here. The women can go in there. He goes, but there's another sauna about 100 yards from here, But it's a very special sauna. He said
it's just over there.
Okay, over there. Yeah. So he goes,
powered by a disco ball.
Yeah. So they go. He said it's a wood burning sauna. Without a chimney, so it fills up with smoke.
Oh my
but it's
goodness.
very, very special. And then he
hot
said,
box.
It's a hot box. And then it's a charcoal box. And then he said it's on the lake right there, and we cut a hole in the ice. Then you jump in the ice after.
Oh
my God!
Sakes.
So I said okay. So we go there, and there's a little side cabin where you dress. And so I went.
I'm sorry, but you went to the third sauna.
The third sauna.
The wooden. You went to the hot box.
The wood burning without the chimney.
Okay.
So we go in there. We go in there. We go.
Now, how many people went? How many people chose that one?
It was probably about 15.
Okay.
These are my colleagues too.
Yeah.
You got the impression. Why did you choose it? Because you got the impression that was the manly choice.
Because that was the one that was different. I'm here for the experience.
Sure. The experience of particulate matter in your lungs.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we go to the dressing room, and it's just okay. I have my bathing suit in my hand, and I know right away that this is a no-go. Because everybody I've been working with, they're all just immediately naked. So I had to do the same, and I wrapped Yeah, I have to do it. So
bending's from accounting. I can see your stuff.
No. Not people that I work with in the building.
Okay.
People that I work with abroad.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh.
So we get in the. I wrap myself in the towel. We start walking in the. You have to walk through the snow. So it's I'm barefoot.
What culture is this?
It's I'm barefoot. I'm barefoot, nothing on, just a towel around my waist. We're walking through the snow into the hot box. So we get there and then I take the towel off. But everybody else had nothing. They just had the towel around their neck, and just walking through the woods
as if to say,
naked.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't give a shit. I'm not from. I'm not
Everybody
from the
can
US.
see a robin's egg.
So we get in the hot box and it's all charcoaly in there.
Yeah.
And we stay in there for a while, and then we go to the water and jump. We jump in the water, which is frightfully cold.
It's invigorating. Though. I feel like I would want to do that.
Yeah, it's fantastic. And then you walk back, but then about an hour in, then the women come that were in the other one. So they come with a case of finished beer. And we're sitting there doing the same thing, and then everybody walks to the no clothes on, walking to the lake. You jump in. And that was
party,
that.
Man.
Then you go back to the main lodge where they had some sausages and some potato salad and some bread. Then we all sang karaoke.
Oh my God! God, that sounds great.
Wow,
yeah, that was it. Mm-hmm.
That's a party.
Did they do? Now they do this. The Finnish do these saunas every day.
Most of them do it. I mean, it's every day.
I'm sorry, but without knowing much about the culture aside from that, but that just seems like a superior.
Yeah.
Way to go about things.
Yeah.
And then
they know
karaoke.
something we don't know.
Anybody who takes time out every day, we don't take time out for anything. There's no time out. It's always on the run. But anytime you get maybe the Spanish siesta or the Finnish sauna, it's like, listen, we're building time in for this. Mm-hmm. We're building it into the day.
Yeah.
That sounds better than what we got.
If you don't take that time, they get very aggravated with you.
Sure.
So then you go back, you have a little bit of sausage. Then they had the nice licorice schnapps, and then they had this was a little frightening. It was it was a brandy with vodka in it. It was a shot
right to take the edge off.
Yeah, it was a shot glass half filled with vodka, and I go and like a brandy. What the hell is that? And but that was it.
Wow.
Holy!
Now this will sound very immature. Mm-hmm. You will not be surprised. I have an immature question to ask.
Oh boy!
But I mean it kind of seriously. Mm-hmm. During all of it, and maybe everybody was everybody there. Oh, let me ask you this: was everybody there a local except for you?
No, everybody's from different countries.
That's what I thought. Okay, so with all this naked goings on and everything, men and women, was there zero sense of titillation or the girls just showed up?
No,
sexual tension.
No, there was nothing of that sort.
It's because they're Europeans.
It was like, hey, come on in. Yeah. We were just talking about this, so we were just talking about that.
It's like another planet.
Then you came out, and we're all covered with charcoal because I had charcoal all over us.
Sure.
So we went and showered, got dressed, and then I was with somebody I work with from one of these agencies, and I said, let's get a picture. We had our clothes on, and I gave the phone to one of our technical advisors, and I leaned over to my friend. I go, every time you look at this picture now, just remember that so-and-so's from Germany who took the picture is completely naked.
Oh, that's good.
All right. So I'm tired. In other words, I come back and I'm a little jet lagged. So
that's why you're tired.
I'm a little
Nobody
jet lagged.
was
I'm a little
uptight.
tired. No, nobody's uptight.
And as good as titillation is, as Tom puts it, as good as that is, it is kind of cool that, and I'm not one of these people that as a blanket sentiment thinks that the Europeans have everything right and we don't. I'm not one of those people necessarily, but about this issue, I have to say this is this seems to be elevated to me.
Yeah.
It suggests a very open mind and a very I don't know what I'm trying to say. They have an understanding of life that we don't have.
Right.
Mm-hmm. No, I don't think you could take now to tilt it back to this minute. All these caddies that came running into the pool. I don't think you could take any of them and drop them in that situation and it'd go the same way.
Yeah, they don't know how to handle themselves. You'd be finding a stray baby Ruth in the fucking sauna, and everybody want to get out of there.
In the ice hole.
Yeah, ice hole.
Fargan ice hole.
They'll take a candy bar right in the ice hole.
Fargan ice hole.
Floating in the ice hole. I don't think I've ever seen that movie, but I hear it quoted constantly in high school.
Johnny
Those scenes are
Dangerously.
worth it. Yeah, people don't like that movie. I do, but it's because I was kind of somewhat raised on it. My mom really likes it, so I have a soft spot for that movie for sure. And but those scenes are really worth it. Like, it's not really clear what nationality that guy is. He's just foreign, you know. Fargen ice hole.
You
Knock
son
down
of
that
a bitch.
wall. Knock down that wall. Knock down that Fargen wall.
That son of a batch.
Some of them botching. Yeah.
I'm laughing at a movie I've never seen. You guys make it sound funny.
After she dives, the very, very suave D'Annunzio is there to greet her out of the water, and he gives her a line that I've always loved from this movie, and I feel like there's a bygone thing that you can, maybe people used to call women, I don't know, but he says, "Hi, mama."
Yeah.
Which I think
Well, it's like
women don't take it well when you call them mama now, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
Madonna's okay, but Mama is a little too familiar.
Right. Mama. Very weird.
Well, he's got that awesome... he and Danny both have awesome moves right on top of each other. D'Annunzio, just without even looking at Danny, hands him his sunglasses and makes him take them.
Yeah.
And then after he walks off, Danny's like, fuck it, and just tosses it, which both of those, I think, are very smooth.
And at this
Excellent
very minute, there's an audio screw up, or there's some like bad audio, because then the background sound, the background conversations gets extremely loud at this point.
Yeah.
And you got some like random goombog saying, "Hey, come over here."
Yeah. He goes, hey, Reno, get over here.
Get over here. And then somebody starts to scream like, and it cuts off.
Right.
And it
Which
goes
would
to
have
the
been
next
very
scene.
easy to remedy in the editing process. It's not a difficult thing to eliminate.
If they'd cared in the slightest bit.
They did not care.
No.
That's
Danny's
sad.
got the real goofy, sort of Herbie Goes Bananas themed swim trunks on, you know?
Yeah.
And he just looks like a kid, whereas D'Annunzio's got the Speedos on, the cool sunglasses.
He's a cool guy.
He's a cool guy. And the suggestion here is that maybe they get together. We don't know.
Well, we were talking about this before. We never ever see any evidence of that they do.
I think it gets thwarted. We can talk about this in the next minute or two, but
Yeah.
it gets thwarted by the by Mrs. Smales.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it might be something that was just cut short. It's like, and again, D'Annunzio gets the shaft. It's like everybody else in the entire Bushwood Country Club gets a chance to go with Lacey Underall, except for D'Annunzio.
Right.
Even though he's handling it more smoothly than Ty Webb would ever handle it, or Danny. He's
Right.
going, "Hey, mama, what's up? Let me give you a back rub."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now this is, that all seems very not forced exactly, but it all seems like part of a persona. All the Madonna with meatballs and "Hey Mama" and rubbing the oil on and stuff. And I wonder if maybe that's just I'm stretching a little bit here, but maybe that's just like a role he feels he's supposed to play, and he's not fully connecting with her the way he would want to, or something.
I agree.
Or maybe she's not the one for him because she would be expecting that sort of thing. Maybe he's looking for maybe that's why he's giving Danny guff, because he's got something real with Maggie, and I got to be the cool kid. Maybe I'm not going to have that.
He has trouble with intimacy and with opening up and being real, and he puts on a bit of the thick Italian kind of affect.
Yeah.
I think I agree with that.
You guys through?
Thank you.
Well, that doesn't.
Mike
I still
doesn't buy
think that
it.
makes him a
I
not
know.
unsympathetic character.
No,
Mike, what is it?
No, my stomach is killing me. I realized that I brought that up, and then I went into the whole sauna story.
That's true.
We never really got to the bottom of it. My stomach is just on fire.
What is it? Is
Now,
it
when
a
did it start
burning, or
hurting?
is it like that lead ball kind of feeling?
No, it's not the lead ball. It's like an acid. Real
Ew.
acid.
Did you have? I know you have those
Real
Tums
acid.
unless you finished them.
I did.
Have a couple Tums.
I had a few Tums. I'm gonna get some more in a minute.
You should numb the area.
With some Tums, you mean?
Num 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 num. Have some Tums.
Some num nums. All right, go ahead. I'll be fine.
All right.
Wait, did you just make that up, or was that a slogan for Tom's?
For me? No. That's not a slogan for Tom's.
You should numb the area.
Yeah, it's
That's
a famous old joke. That's a chestnut right there. I can't even tell it. I can't even tell it in mixed company in a podcast.
Oh, please.
It has to do with. Oh boy. It
He's
has to
going
do
blue.
with. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
let's
has
just
to do
leave
with
it,
the
Tom.
woman going to the gynecologist. I shouldn't.
Let's just stop.
Yeah, let's just
Stop,
not
right?
do it. But
Say it in as few words as you can.
No.
you can
he's
put
not
you
gonna
can put it together, and he's like, first we should numb the area. Okay, good.
All
Let's
right.
let's keep moving on.
Okay.
yeah.
I like
you
that
get
you
it.
applied that to Mike and his
And then the
stomach.
I did.
punchline is, I'm a jeweler.
I'm a jeweler. I'm a star.
Don't hurt my hands. I'm a jeweler.
Oh, yeah. So what else we got in this minute? The Busby Berkeley number fires up.
Yeah.
It's a fun little scene.
It is.
Yeah.
I kind of like and am annoyed by the shot of the lifeguard. You see the guy start to dance in the pool, and they have to cut to the lifeguard observing them very calmly all of a sudden.
He's not
observing them
calm.
from above. What?
He's not calm. Sammy Hagar up there is not happy.
He's
He's not happy, but he's not like freaking. He's pausing for
Yeah.
a second. He's like, "What the heck is going on down there?"
Yeah,
These kids
there's
are dancing.
I think you're both right. He's not demonstrative. He's not doing anything. He's just staring. So that in a sense
he's-
is calm in
he's
terms of
been
his
yelling
behavior.
this
But
whole
he's
time.
definitely ready to go off. Like, I don't like what's going on here.
Yeah. He can't.
Right.
he can't drive 55.
Right.
No, not at all. He's got 1 foot on the brake, 1 foot on the gas.
This
That
is
guy-
yeah, and it's very clearly marked. You know, it's a non Busby Berkeley zone. You're not supposed to be doing
Right.
Busby
Well, that's
Berkeley.
the thing. Why is he annoyed with that? Like that seems like the least disruptive thing they've been doing.
That's true.
Is
It
his
seems like
Well,
it's a bit of fun.
This is like another Chekhov's gun thing. It's because the camera angle of him sitting on his perch shows that he's very high up in the air because you see the sky behind him. So you know what is up must come down. So you know something's going to happen to him at some point.
You think his ass is going to get shaved, don't you?
No, that he's gonna come tumbling down.
I
One of
totally
the two.
misunderstood.
What was interesting also is that you get the impression that this is their only chance to work on this Busby Berkeley number, which requires a lot of practice, and they get 15 minutes a year to work on it. And so for the last 12 years, and it's almost like they've been passing it down for generations through the caddy community.
What the hell are you
Where-
talking about?
Well, look, they're not old enough to have learned this number, except for
Right.
the guy who looks like the merman from Cabin Boy.
Shark.
The guy looks like Sharky from Cabin Boy, and then there's but
love
like
Cabin Boy.
everyone's too young to have learned the Busby Berkeley number, so it's like it's almost like they have a set routine that they do every year in this 15-minute period, and everybody has
Yeah.
to be prepared for it, and everybody has to have the moves right.
What is this, like their oral
Legend tells
tradition?
of a dance.
It's like a Dread Pirate Roberts for these caddy dancers
Yeah.
type situation, which I think I've
It's like an
invoked
East.
before.
Is this like an East African folk tale or something
Yeah.
Yeah.
being
They
passed
acted
down?
out
Yeah.
around the Caddyshack.
Dread
at night.
pirates robbers.
Like when Tony
then I'll-
D'Annunzio has to leave and get a new job, maybe he moves on and becomes a stereo salesman or something, and he has
Isn't
to
that
pass
what,
it on to Angie or Joey. He says,
Yeah.
"Listen, now here's how you do the Busby Berkeley number.
Grandpa, tell us again about the Busby Berkeley number.
Shoes are optional.
There's usually one guy.
Keep
That
yourself
guy could be you.
a good clean distance from Sharky."
I
That
like
guy-
those shoes. I like
he
the guy
looks-
with the shoes.
Yeah, he looks exactly like Sharky. Is this did we talk about Get a Life before? By the way, speaking of Cabin Boy, is this the episode where we talked about Get a Life?
Yes.
Did we
did-
get cut
yes.
off?
Yeah, we
we
got
did.
cut off.
The three
So-
of us did, but no one else got to enjoy it.
Well, Cabin Boy,
I love that show.
great Chris Elliott vehicle. I'm a big fan of Chris Elliott from back in his David Letterman days and all that stuff. Cabin Boy is a masterpiece. Not everyone agrees, but
I love
he did have a show called Get a Life. I loved it. It was great. He did it with his dad, and then
Yeah.
yeah.
He had a special on. I'm not going to find the name of it. Oh, Action Family. That was the name of it. Action
Oh,
Family.
I've heard of
From
that.
1986. and it was half filmed cop show and half like videotape sitcom. And like they were happening sort of simultaneously. Like when he wasn't at home, he was a cop, like a hard-bitten cop, and he like pulled over David Letterman and stuff. He made a cameo or something. And but as soon as he got home, he would walk through the door and he'd be on videotape in a sitcom set, and that was his family life.
Is it good?
It's great. Yeah, it's great. If you like Chris Elliott at all and you like Get a Life, then yes, you love it.
I cannot wait to see it, man. I cannot wait to see it because I love Chris Elliott.
I think the whole thing's on YouTube, maybe.
I did just search for it, and I do see that there's some episodes on YouTube. Did you see Eagleheart?
I've never seen Eagleheart. No.
Oh man, you got to check out Eagleheart. Yeah, it's like a web series. It's it's a high production value, and he's this. You just got to see it. It's like these 15-minute episodes, but they are just so bizarre. It's like that.
There's an actress on that show. I don't know why I know this, even though I haven't seen the show. I'm gonna forget her name. Thayer, I think her last name is Thayer, and I met her at Dan Rather's retirement party.
What?
I'll just let that float out there.
You met her at Dan Rather's retirement party. There's more than one question that is the result of this
I'll let
statement.
you cycle through them. No, yeah, she was on a show. She was on Strangers with Candy with Amy Sedaris and Stephen Colbert back in the old days and stuff.
What's really fucking annoying
I'm getting there.
But that's annoying. That's annoying. That's so goddamn annoying.
It is. That's obnoxious.
You're talking about something just out there, and then you said, I'm going to do this. I'm going to throw this out there. No, you don't get... Okay. All right. Okay.
My lovely wife, Jody.
Mm-hmm. Was this the CBS days?
The CBS days. We lived in New York. She worked at CBS News. She was a I don't know what she does. She was
animated. She did animation,
or something, like pictures and computers. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she had like the graphics for the news and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And she was there when Dan Rather retired. Oh. So we both got to go to his retirement party, and it was very fun. It was very cool, like crazy, like barbecue themed thing, like in the heart of New York City and stuff, at this like club. And we were sitting there. I'm like, oh my god, I think that's Tammy Littlenut over there. Because this actress played this woman, Tammy Littlenut, like a high school student. Have you ever seen Strangers with Candy?
Yeah.
That's a show. Yeah. That's a fantastic show.
Absolutely.
Anyway, she was on that, and I went over and I said, "Oh my gosh, you're Tammy Littlenut, aren't you?" And she was thrilled that somebody recognized her. She was so excited. She was very lovely, and I was very pleased to have met her. And I also shook hands with Dan Rather and Ed Bradley. So there you go.
Mm-hmm. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a story.
Yeah, she's as close as you're going to get to a story, and we approve.
That's right.
That's almost a story. Yeah, we might if they give you round up, that's a story.
Yeah, that's like that's
exactly.
like 0.87 rounded up to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got a beginning, it's got a jumble of a middle, and all it needs is maybe like some rising action
and you wrapped
climax.
It up.
Right.
Yeah.
I got some rising action in my stomach.
Yeah,
Me.
When did this start? Did this start while we were recording, or has this been going on for a while?
It's about an hour ago, 2 hours ago. Having some troubles.
It's always, but Mike is very prone to gut disorders and things like this. I remember when back in the day when he would like have a glass of water. He's like, I think I want a glass of water. He has a glass of water, and he goes, "Oh, this water's killing my stomach." Water.
If I got up in the morning and drank a glass of water right off the bat, it was like drinking nails.
Yeah, unbelievable. Water.
That's not
life-giving water,
the effect
man.
That water's supposed to have. It's one of the most important things you're supposed to have in your life.
People would tell me you got to get up and hydrate yourself. Like, I can't do that. That's like a death sentence. I got to get a good base in there.
Hurt your stomach or your throat?
No, my stomach. It just makes the acid go awry.
What are you supposed to drink if you can't drink water? Something more bland?
No, have something with some
butt coffee.
Fuck you.
Right.
No, it says you got to have you got to have like a scoop of yogurt or something to
you need the
coat.
bacteria, the cultures,
or a little Pepto.
Mm-hmm.
A little nip
bro, keep you going.
We used to.
So you're supposed to wake up in the morning and drink Pepto-Bismol. That's like your routine. That's what you're supposed to do.
We used to. No, I'm just saying that.
Okay.
Just keeps it by the bedside. Oh, Daddy needs his Pepto.
It's like cutting your whiskey with a little Pepto.
Sure.
Yeah.
I got you. Like a Pepto shooter. A little shot of whiskey with a little Pepto floating on top.
Yeah.
And an oyster. It's good to have an oyster in there too.
Yep. Then just vomit.
Hey, speaking of Mike and I still have not seen each other in person. I thought that it would have happened by now.
I knew it.
We'll celebrate the end
you're
of this podcast with it.
I see both of you.
That's a
before
while from now. God.
Either of you sees each other.
We should make that happen just to be funny.
I do think, Tom, that I should make a trip out there and that we should do a live podcast with the three of us.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be great. I love that.
I'm gonna start
As with the
arranging
people.
for that then anytime now.
Mike, put the
What?
put the Romanian slippers on and let's see
take
if we
a
can't
drink.
let's see if we can't cook up some hilarity.
Fire up the hot chocolate and the almond milk.
Yeah. From Timișoara, Romania.
My
Timișoara.
favorite part of that whole thing, if we can comment on our own show for a minute, is that Mike turned into Richard Christie from the Howard Stern show. It was the hot chocolate and the slippers. I had the almond milk,
And the almond milk.
and that made me sleepy.
Okay.
Son of a
Let it
bitch.
go. Let it go. Let we all sleep.
We shouldn't reference our own show.
Everybody sleeps.
I haven't had a chance to chat with Mike about that.
Everybody sleeps.
It's true. During podcasts.
We covered it all. We talked about
I think
Chris
we did.
Elliott. We talked about Busby Berkeley.
I think we're getting good at this. We're
You keep bringing
covering
up this.
everything in less time.
You keep bringing up this Busby Berkeley. Maybe you should expand on that.
Oh, well, I don't know. Busby Berkeley, what is that? Like a 1950s choreographer from Hollywood.
Mhm.
Did a lot of these pool type scene. There's a big Busby Berkeley kind of tribute in this most recent Coen Brothers movie, Hail Caesar. Did you see this?
I have still not seen that, and I would like to, even though people say it's kind of meh.
Yeah,
No,
I
it's
didn't
good.
really.
They're all worth it, you know?
Sure.
You're not going
Well,
to
you
get a
know-
Raising Arizona every time, you know what I mean?
No.
But isn't the scene, the bowling pin scene in The Big Lebowski, kind of Busby Berkeley, even though they're not in the pool?
I suppose it is, yeah. I think it's
With
in
the-
that
I was
same
gonna say,
vein, isn't it?
Is
Yeah.
Busby Berkeley specifically water dancing
Or
stuff,
just-
or is he just like big
I bet
choreographed
not.
things?
I bet not, but I think of him that way.
I think
You
it's just kind of like a synchronized choreography. It could not
Yeah.
be in. Yeah.
From overhead, or from
Yeah.
those angles where it's almost like these kaleidoscopes forming patterns.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that's what that was in I'm sorry.
Big Lebowski.
The Big Lebowski, yeah.
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 Jackie
Yeah.
Treehorn.
So I don't really know much about the guy other than that it's kind of a 50s thing in my head, you know?
Is it 50s or is it even earlier? I thought
Earlier.
it was more like 40s or something.
I don't know. Yeah, in my head it's 50s. I don't know.
Let's have an argument about something we don't know enough about.
Yeah.
Neither of us has the information, but we'll duke it out.
Dan
Oh,
Dan
yeah,
kind of
sorry.
sees it as mid-century modern. So-
Yeah, that's how I pick it up.
It says
know.
1931 to you and me.
Ooh,
Busby Berkeley, Dancing Until the Dawn, 1931.
5 points to me.
No, that's like his first film or something? What are you talking about?
I don't know.
He died immediately after.
I just didn't know how else to refer to that scene other than the fact that it's
Yeah.
very clearly a Busby Berkeley scene. The song, though, it bears mentioning is Tchaikovsky's. It's from the Nutcracker Suite.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
No, I
it's,
assume I'm immediately annoyed, or initially annoyed, when I hear Kenny Loggins come back on at the beginning of this scene, because I'm like, hey, you guys, you had a Journey song in here. You could go back to Journey, and then I think, oh wait, maybe Journey's a little expensive. They're on top of the world. They're a hit machine. Maybe Kenny Loggins is a little cheaper. But now they're playing, public domain Tchaikovsky. I would almost rather they do more of that than bring in Mr. Loggins again. I'm not.
Yeah. Do what they did for 2001 and just go with your Strauss and your Tchaikovsky.
Yeah. Or even go like Clockwork Orange and do like a crazy electronica version of Journey
Beethoven.
and Kenny Loggins.
Right. Wendy Carlos.
Yes.
Yeah.
My son plays a thing on the euphonium. He's taking euphonium lessons at school. And when he's practicing, there's one song that for like 5 notes sounds exactly like the opening of The Shining. It's like note for note, almost the same thing. I was like, hey, son, I'm going to show you
What
the
is
opening
that
of the show.
note?
I haven't done this.
What is that?
It's
What
like,
is the opening of The Shining?
I'm not doing it
yeah,
exactly.
that
But
does kinda sound-
that's the sense of it, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of droning, note for note, kind of deep, weird thing.
Hey, get that kid a guitar or something. You
I know,
You're not gonna,
I was
he's
gonna
not
say.
going to get into a band with a euphonium in it.
Euphonium.
If you admit that you can play the euphonium.
What's he
Why
going to
just
do?
call
You'll
it a
hire
tuba,
you in
like
a
it's a
rock and
little
roll band.
baritone tuba.
Yeah, well, he's getting, I think this is like the training wheels version of a tuba or something.
Is that his next step?
I think when he
the
gets
tuba?
to middle school. Wait, what?
Is that his next step, the tuba?
I think so. I think when he gets to middle school or high school, they graduate to the tuba, if you know what I mean.
I got a question. One of my favorite. I never actually heard of that instrument, to be honest.
I hadn't
with you.
either.
But I do love the word. Always love the word euphonious, and I wondered which comes from which. Like, euphonious is just pleasing. You know, like it sounds
Oh.
good. But
Oh.
which one comes from which?
Having an
I'm
instrument
surprised that I
called
like
a
that word so
euphonium.
much, and yet have never heard of the instrument euphonium. Or maybe I have offhandedly heard it, but I never really was able to picture
Well,
it.
I think Dan is referencing euphonious as the Greek word of meaning sweet voiced.
I don't know. I just think of it as meaning just a very nice sounding thing.
Not
Euphonious,
sweet voiced.
dulcet.
Well sounding or sweet voiced.
Oh, all right.
It seems like there are a lot of other instruments that would have earned that name before the euphonium. The euphonium is very nice, but it's very deep and very,
Yeah,
you would think a flute
like the
or something,
triangle
or,
or the
violin,
kazoo or the banjo,
right,
or any of these
those
really nice sounding
sweet
instruments.
voiced, yeah.
Right, or like
almost
that
sounds like the euphonium is the-
vuvuzela.
Oh,
Yeah.
the
the jaw harp.
Or it's often referred to as the Jew's
Jew
harp.
harp. Yeah, the Jew harp.
Well, thanks for muddying it up. I wasn't gonna go there.
Well, that's what it
All
was called. I don't know what's it. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. You're the one injecting it with bad.
The Jew
What's
harp.
the last thing in the world you expect? You see some stereotype. I mean, it's so funny to like rework all those Woody Allen movies with like just jaw harp music. Oh
That sounds like a line from the Jew harp. That sounds like a line from Blazing Saddles
yeah, it does.
in the cowboy scene.
Yeah, right. Slim Pickens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'll be damned.
Bang, bar, boy, bing, bang, bang,
Bang, bang, bang, bang, bang, bang.
Jew harp.
We did finally post that video on the listeners' hole
to go.
no one's edification, I think.
No, nobody cares.
I don't think anyone learned a thing.
Nobody
That's
cares.
all right.
Now, what
are we
now,
doing?
now the Jew's harp, also known as the jaw harp, oh, the Ozark
yeah.
harp. Well, how do they get the Jew's harp in there with Ozark harp, or Juice harp, or jaw harp?
Well, I think didn't it come from? I think I read about this after we had last talked about it, or else I talked about it with somebody else. But didn't it? Wasn't it just a kind of a homonym coming from juice harp, like you said?
Yeah,
Oh.
but
Weird.
you would think that you would just skip that one.
Yeah, you might skip that, but
Yeah.
back in
Yeah.
those days, you don't skip that one.
Yeah,
We're in the
No.
days now where you skip that one.
Right.
yeah.
I tried to.
Yeah.
Whether any derogatation was originally intended is not known.
Oh, I bet it wasn't. I bet everybody was just trying to be as nice as
Oh,
possible.
I like that instrument. I mean,
welcoming.
it sounds cool.
Somebody gave me one for Christmas like 2 years ago. It's in a drawer somewhere. I was disappointed when I didn't master it within seconds, so I put it away. But
Right.
I
Like
should get it out again.
like everything else in your life.
Exactly.
Now, I guess
Hey,
it-
maybe I should. For next time, I should get that back out and try to play it.
There you go. So it was known as a juice harp.
Vote of confidence.
Yeah, whatever, Tom. Go fuck yourself.
whatever.
Yeah,
Tom,
whatever.
seriously, make a note to do that. I think that'd
Yeah.
be great.
Yeah, put it in your notes.
Please.
So it was called the juice
Jaws.
harp, considering the drooling had often that drooling often accompanies amateur performances on the thing.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
Jesus. Well, now that doesn't make it that much different than. No, that doesn't differentiate it much in that level from the euphonium. But the only difference there is that the juice harp does not have a spit valve.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. It doesn't need one. It's just like an open air spit machine.
The spit valve is just one of the grossest and weirdest kind of parts
my machine,
of the
my
musical
instrument is
world.
filling with spit.
That I think non-music players, people who didn't play horns or anything, don't know anything about spit valves, do they? But that, you know how that thing looks like a small intestine, those tubes all over the place? That's all spit in there, people.
Right. No, my son's got to empty it out. He's got to take off like 3 different parts in the right order and dump them out.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it's
into a
it's
spittoon.
disgusting.
You got to carefully do it in that order, though. Otherwise, it's like trying to jumpstart a car. You do it in the wrong order, and it's a disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll never put it back together again. So, an informal survey of Jewish friends over the years has yielded mixed reactions to the Jew harp. Almost all found it inoffensive, or were puzzled that the question had even been raised. However, the few who did find it offensive, objected to it rather strongly. One said he thought it sounded like a slur invented by Christians. Big Christian harp, little Jews harp.
But they don't know any of the background, and maybe they don't like the instrument. I mean, I don't. Were these Orthodox Jews that were asked, or Reformed Jews?
I'm at the JewsHarpGuild.org.
Well, they would know, certainly, wouldn't they?
Oh my God. Maybe we should put this thing and Mike to bed.
So fucking tired. I'm so fucking tired.
We broke Mike.
Tired. My stomach hurts.
Should we just let you go, Mike?
No.
I'm tired too.
No, there's a song that's like all Jews harp. And it's like the guy just does, he goes, maybe people know this song. I don't know how it goes, but and then there's like, 8 bars of just like one note. It's like the whole song is, and it's a really good song too. That's the thing. I'm gonna find it and post it.
Yeah, please do.
It's terrific.
I want to hear that.
Yeah.
Now, how does one get drawn to that instrument?
I don't know.
No one knows.
That's a good question.
I
You're
mean,
part
who
of
do
a
you see?
jug band. Maybe you couldn't cut it in the jug band. They give you one of those.
Or all the jugs were taken already. Like, we don't need 7 jugs. Here, do the jaw harp.
It's
got
for
3
particularly
jugs of the jaw
talented
harp.
kazooists who are singled out.
And the slide whistleist.
Yeah.
A kazoo, you really don't need to master it all, do you? Right? You just hum, like literally, and that's it. Like you're immediately a pro at the kazoo, right?
I've seen people who are not good
Really?
at kazoo, because the kazoo does require you to still have an ear. You have to have an ear. Like if you don't have an ear,
sure.
forget it.
Yeah.
You can't do it. And then it just sounds like, I don't know, like a bleeding sheep giving birth or something.
Right. Exactly like that.
Right.
Oh, poor Mike.
I'm fine.
No.
I'm fine. Everything's fine.
Clearly.
All right, you take him up to bed.
No, I
Okay.
can't sleep anyways because my stomach's on fire.
Say goodnight to everybody, Mike.
No, I'm fine.
Go hug Grandpa.
Right.
I want to crawl.
All
I
right.
just want to get under the covers at some point tonight.
Oh my gosh, it sounds awesome.
Oh,
I'm gonna do
God.
that. I'm really tired. Let's go do that. I'm trying to
It's
say
enough
that this is
already.
the end of the episode.
Yeah, all
That's
right,
what I'm
let's
trying
just
to
do
hint
it already
heavily
then.
at.
Cut it off.
All right, for God's sake.
Busby Berkeley.
Good.
But we had Busby Berkeley.
We're all
Jews harp.
drowning in the deep end of the pool with Busby
Chris
Berkeley.
Elliott,
No.
Jews harp, Busby Berkeley.
That's what we've learned here today.
Done.
And now we're all
Thank
gonna
you
have-
all. I'm sorry you missed the Sabu story. We will come back next time for minute 47 of Caddyshack here on the Caddyshack Minute. Hey, you scratch my anchor.
Hey, you scratched my ankle.